Hey guys, so I've been vlogging for quite a while, and I thought I'd have a try at making like a YouTube, I don't know, kind of like video blog instead about what's going on. So Phony Girlfriend, or Girlfriend Plus Plus as it's now called, is basically kind of under wraps, and I want to start a new project really badly. The original idea was to work on something called Phony Messenger, which is kind of like a storyline based game. Um, but I've decided not to work on that, and instead to just directly work on a new visual novel, something like Tokyo Hosto or Fantastic Fivesome. Um, I started writing a time travel based game and something kind of like Groundhog Day, something like that. But I've been having trouble making it funny, and also I'm just really getting stuck with the script at the moment. Um, in the middle of last year, around summer 2014, or maybe even April, quite early actually, I started working on a script for a game where you play as Kim Jong-un. And it's still in the writing stage, but I've got a lot of ideas written down. I've got a lot of dialogue written down. It's all over the place. But it's pretty funny. I've been pitching it to people, and people like it quite a bit. So I think I'm just going to dive in and make that game straight away. Um, Originally, it was going to be a script for Phony Messenger, but I'm not sure if Phony Messenger is going to happen, and I'm also a bit worried with Phony Messenger. So the reason I'm worried is because we have we got two accounts. We actually have three accounts. We have an Amazon, an Apple, and a Google account, and they have Phony Girlfriend and Phony Boyfriend on them. And I don't want to make a third game that could be controversial and take down an account. And Phony Messenger, as it is right now, the two scripts I have for Phony Messenger are pretty controversial. They're pretty edgy and pretty, to me, funny, and um, they're both good scripts. But I'm worried that it could bring unwanted attention to the account, and I don't want to take it down. So one thing is we could do is we could make a new set of accounts and put Phony Messenger on there, but that's a bit of a hassle. Instead, I just want to directly go straight into making this Kim Jong-un script. Um, so it's in the writing stage, and I've done a bunch of these. So I've done a bunch of adventure games, which use a slightly different engine, but the way production goes is basically the same. I write a script, or somebody writes a script, and then I plan out what kind of art assets I need. So I might need like backgrounds. I might need character images. I might need comic strips. I might need animation, and I'll need voice acting. So I plan out all the art I need, and then I start talking to artists and getting them to do the stuff I want them to do. And then the next part is you have to go into negotiation. So you have to like set up. I don't really like to work open-ended with people because all the money I'm spending is my money. So what I mean by going open-ended is basically paying someone like $20 an hour, $30 an hour, something like that. I'd rather pay them maybe more, but an upfront cost so that I can budget everything safely. And things still go over budget because I might need extra stuff, or I might need massive corrections, or I might add an extra scene in here. But at least I'm kind of a bit more aware of it than if I had a writer open-ended going along with this. So I don't know. I've got some notes somewhere for this Kim Jong-un game. Basically, it's gonna be like Tokyo Hosto, except it's gonna be totally mobile first. And what I mean by that is I want it to work really, really nicely on iOS and Android, because those are the two biggest markets. So it has to be a mobile game first. I will launch it on as many platforms as I can put it on. So basically everywhere I can put it, I will try to put it on there. But I want it to be a hit on mobile. And one thing about Tokyo Hosto is every scene has an objective. So scene one, when you're talking to Toby Lau, you're doing a job interview, and your objective is to basically convince Toby that you are good enough to work in his host bar. And if you don't, just basically don't say the wrong thing and piss him off, and you'll succeed in the scene. That's a bit hard with some other visual novels because I might have an idea for a scene which I think is really funny, but there's no real objective in it. So one example is in the Kim Jong-un game. It starts off with you having an introduction with your personal assistant, and what that's about is it's basically setting the scene for the player, so he knows, okay, you're Kim Jong-un, and this is what you're going to be up to this week. Um, but how can you fail that scene? You know, what could happen? You're just in bed, and your personal assistant comes in and talks to you, um, and he's going to tell you a bunch of things. You make a bunch of decisions, but there's no real fail state. Um, and I was talking to a friend about this yesterday because I have a lot of scenes where it looks like there's no real fail state, and he said maybe you don't need to fail the scene. Maybe it can your decisions you make in that scene influence what scene you branch to later. And I thought that was a pretty interesting idea, and it also like gets me off the hook a little bit, so it makes it a bit easier for me to write it. So for this next game, I'm gonna keep it pretty short. I'm gonna only create 6 scenes, and it's gonna be freemium, which is pretty weird for a visual novel. Generally, I think visual novels or typical games back in the day, you just paid up front and then you play the game, right? But on mobile, that business model sucks, and you're just never gonna make enough money. That's with that strategy. So my idea is the first scene is your first day. So, and then once you've cleared that scene, there's a timer, a 24-hour timer, and it says like 24 hours until the next day. And you can just wait for that timer to expire, and you get a notification, and then you're ready to play the next scene. Or you pay like $1 or something to proceed to the next scene. So I think I don't know if any other game has done something like that. And I don't think there's any really popular visual novel games on mobile. But that's the business model I want to try out, and I think it could be kind of interesting. There's going to be 6 scenes, which means so far I've only got 6 scenes, and that means the most I can make out of this game per user is $5. And generally speaking, I think only 1 or 2% of people will spend any money, and it could be even less, you know. But yeah, I guess that's okay for now. I might share like some of the scenes I've been writing later, but I think this is a good place to end. Yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, guys.